Demilo, whatever. I don't know if I'm gonna say that or not. Sure, dang guys, that week sure went by fast. Ha 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 ha. Nod nod, wink wink. So let's continue on with the news, and this is not a comeback kickback. This is a very tragic news or information, and I know I'm a little behind, but I'm still gonna talk about it, even though I kind of didn't want to make this the first talk about. But this is gonna be brief. This is gonna talk about Anthony Joshua and his and what happened to him in Nigeria, which is a tragic thing. So Anthony Joshua just recently lost two of his best friends during driving through the highway in Nigeria, which is known to be one of the deadliest highways ever. A car collision happened, and two of his best friends passed away in his family's home country, and it was in Nigeria again. Anthony Joshua's from his family's from Nigeria, and he was going to celebrate New Year's with his two friends who were also his training camp that helped him get prepared through his career. They both passed away, and it's very tragic to know that happened before New Year's. He got severely injured, but I think he can recover. But I can't even fathom what he's going through right now, man. And all respect goes to those two, and also Anthony Joshua. The families and everything should just a very tragic thing to happen to someone, and I don't wish that upon anybody. And all I can do is just hope. You can't really do anything, man. And it's just heartbreaking. It really is. Sad that something like that. After having possibly one of the best performance, not the best performance, but this man saved boxing twice in 2 years. And no, he didn't finish Jake Paul in the first round, but Jake Paul was running and was going down on his knees, basically trying to attempt double legs, which I don't know why you're shooting double legs in a boxing match. He was running from him, which is the reason why I believe why the fight lasted as long as it did. So that's the only reason why that fight lasted that long. The buddy was running away, but no one's going to talk about how Jake was running from Anthony Joshua the whole fight. But I digress, though. I thought the fight was going to be rigged, but it wasn't. But whatever. Having something like that happen, getting the American, finally Anthony Joshua's getting the U.S. star support, because he wasn't really getting love like that, and all Americans didn't really know a lot about Anthony Joshua except for like the boxing purists. So now when he came to America and on Netflix, and he started to get a lot of love, which he should have been getting. I'm sorry, it's just such a sad, tragic thing to happen to somebody, and I don't wish that upon anybody. And what's that bum's name? Bryce Mitchell talking about, oh yeah, you because Jake Paul. Bryce, shut your face up, man. We know you should focus on trying to get an actual win. Learn how to actually wrestle and not just lay on top of somebody for a whole fight and then you win by decision because it was a pity win. You freaking bum. You're never going to make it far. You're never going to make it past the top 11. You're a bum. He's going to get his ass beat. Especially now he's in a harder weight class at 135. Bantamweight. Bantamweight's way harder than featherweight. Have fun getting dominated, you freaking bum. I'm not even going to edit that. You're a bum. Speaking of combat sports, let's talk about Andrew Tate getting his butt whooped by Chase Demore. And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Can I just say I'm not surprised Andrew Tate got dominated like that. First thing first, guys, Andrew Tate's kickboxing career is a lie. The man's been a fraud his whole kickboxing career. His organization, nobody knows anything about it. I remember I saw a video once to talk about Andrew Tate versus like Jake Paul, and they're like, oh yeah, he's a kickboxer, guys. He's supposed to win, and then people are trying to defend him, saying stuff like, okay, they're saying he's a kickboxer. I'm getting off track. People say he's a kickboxer. He's supposed to win, and that's how they were saying he was gonna beat Jake Paul. But then like when I actually started watching some of his old fights, this man has no boxing defense. And his offense is terrible. He keeps his arms out like an idiot. He doesn't block he's not a good fighter, man. And I'm like, this guy's, he's like, I don't know, man. He's like a guy that does like, he's like an amateur. It's not that good. he's like an amateur boxer. He's an amateur kickboxer, and his striking looked bad. His kicks look like when he throws kicks, he keeps them out. Like there's no rhythm. He's not a good fighter, man. He's not a good kickboxer. I've seen his hands. He was not good at boxing either. This man's not a good fighter. And I knew he was a fraud. I saw it too, man. He has awful defense. His offense is terrible. He keeps his arms out, and he relies on his head movement. By the way, if you're going to be someone who relies on counters and head movement, you got to be an athlete. The man's not athletic at all. He's so stiff, and he just gets hits in the face all the time. I remember majority of his kickboxing fights, we're going to talk about his kickboxing, and this is from the video. And then the guy also made another video following up. But majority of his kickboxing matches, you can't even find most of these dudes. Some of these dudes get one fight, or their records are kind of spotty and they don't make sense. And he never competed in like any big kickboxing organization. Let me tell you something. At the time when Andrew was fighting, you know what was the biggest kickboxing organization in the world? K1 Kickboxing. That's where Alistair Overeem fought K1 Kickboxing, and he was a multiple champ. Andrew Tate, non-existent. Never fought there. He fought some like bum organization. I don't even know what it's called. I don't know if that organization is real. He made nothing but bums, but like non-existent. Then you also have like, Glory, which is the second one. He fought at Glory, and he fought some short, fat guy and got his ass whooped. Barely wins his fights in Glory. And Glory is legit. Like, Glory has some of the best kickboxers in the world. You know who fought at Glory? Alex Porton Pereira. And he became a 2-division champion in Glory. You know who also fought at Glory? Israel Adesanya. And Israel Adesanya is 3-for-3 in Glory. Also, this makes me think Israel Adesanya's kickboxing, record's also kind of fraudulent because he has a lot of... I don't know how you have this undefeated streak in China, then you go to Glory and you go 3-3. Kind of tells me somebody, was really fighting bums his whole career until he got to the Rig Dogs and he couldn't compete. But I digress, though. Freaking, he was not going to win. He fights Chase Demore, which honestly, I thought he probably could have stood a chance because Chase Demore sucks. And then he fights the dude and he gets destroyed. He gets tired first round and everything gets destroyed, right? So he loses the fight dominantly. He gets down on his knees the whole match. He's not a wrestler. Guys, gotta remember, Andrew Tate's not a wrestler. Or he's a kickboxer, right? That's his base. So I don't know why he was shooting takedowns and getting down the dude's knees. He was bending down. He was basically, he submit to the man's will. He submitted Chase Demore's will and got down on his knees, willingly got down on his knees. Chase Demore didn't hit him, and then he shot up when it was getting kind of tough, he just went down on his knees because apparently that's like his. I guess that's been his his defense to fighting off dudes when things get tough. Get down on his knees. Apparently, I don't know. I mean, that's what he probably taught his little cam girls, but that's why. That's why he taught his cam girls. No wonder he knew how to spit game for them on their webcam. But I digress. So when after he, got down on his knees in the fight because he can't fight, he would get tired. And he said I was getting tired after the first round and got dominated for the rest. And then people were like, oh, blah blah blah. He has to get for smoking cigars and not properly training. I guess he goes on his rumble and he complains and he starts making excuses like, how did I get tired? I don't know. Maybe did God not want me to win? Maybe Chase couldn't handle the lose, but I could handle the loss. Maybe you just weren't a good fighter. And I also kind of like the fact that he inadvertently called himself a BITCH when he said, how much of a BITCH I be if I just run away from the fight and make up excuses. I'm 40 years old. He's active. He's younger. I'm like, bro, you're 40 years old, active, younger. What? You're making it seem like Jason Morris is heavyweight champion. Like, bro, he's not a heavyweight. What? You're dipping too much of too much dip in your chip now. You seeing all that stuff like making Chase Demore seem like he was some elite combat boxer. Jason Moore is just a dude who got famous on, I guess, social media and does reality TV shows. He's really not a good fighter, not at all. Like if he would like, that's why he ran from the Darren Till fight because he knew he would lose. So it just kind of proves that yeah. And before I know this is 2026, 2025, man, was I thought everything about at the end of 2024, and I learned from I thought 2025 this whole year was kind of came true. 2025 was the year of the frauds. Everybody got frauded. Every fraud got exposed. Everybody got frauded. Every fraud got exposed. Everyone that you guys thought was like good or superior were all frauds. Even your president is a fraud. I mean, if you didn't know the president was a fraud, I mean, come on, man. Stevie Wonder knew he was a fraud from the jump, bro. He's a billionaire. He don't support you. He doesn't support the normal people. Billionaires don't support us. They think we're below. If you guys not watch One Piece and know what the Celestial Dragons are, well, that's all I gotta say. So, yeah. Ciao.